We are going to talk about elevator speeches. And so the elevator speech is an essential tool. It consists of a few well-chosen sentences that tell your work story. The most common explanation of the term elevator speech is that it's a brief commercial for yourself that can be delivered in the time it takes to ride from the top to the bottom of a building. That's probably like 90 seconds or so. Creating an elevator speech helps you think of ways about yourself that you probably didn't think about before. So when to use an elevator speech? You must have your elevator speech ready in time and any place. If you're introducing yourself in a group, maybe at orientation. Ooh, there's me right there. Ding, ding, ding. Use your elevator speech in an interview. And the same speech can be possibly used for responding to questions as, tell me about yourself. Why would I hire you? Because nobody likes not having any answers to those questions. Because you all want to get hired and have jobs and be successful and pay for Heather's ticket to get into Sizzlers because I'm kind of hungry. So, what makes a good elevator speech? A good elevator speech is short but packed with information that is memorable. It is also original, and your elevator speech can be personable. It reflects upon your personal brand, and it's what unique about you. Abilities, skills, achievements, and it follows the key questions. Who are you? What do you do best? Have you made an impact? What sets you apart from your competition, and what are you seeking? Some tips for developing your speech is to create a hook, something that will engage the listener, prompt more questions, and to keep the conversation going. Don't confuse an elevator speech with a resume. An elevator speech is much different than a list of job titles and years of experience. So don't ramble on about yourself. We all think you're cute. Just keep that on paper and save the rest for important information. Resist the impulse to exaggerate. It is easy to spot a phony. So be sure to come off real and confident, and just because it says my name is Heather doesn't mean I'm a phony, so don't worry about that one. Also, you need to be exact with your speech and make sure that you adapt it to the audience you're giving your speech to. So let's let's talk about the do's of an elevator speech. Do make your elevator speech sound effortless, conversational, and natural. Nobody wants to talk to someone who's fake or comes off fake or unreal or anything of the above. So make sure you just, practice and practice so it becomes effortless and it's natural, stuff like that. Do make it memorable and sincere. Open a window to your personality. They want to see what you're about, what you look like, what you are about, how you represent yourself, and all the great things that come behind your personality. Be warm, be friendly, confident, enthusiastic. A smile is a great way to show friendliness and enthusiasm, while strong, firm voice is the best way to express confidence. You project your passion for what you do. So you're kind of probably wondering why I have a My Little Pony photo. This is just because if you love My Little Pony, you better talk about, My Little Pony with all of its rainbowness and funness. So make sure you express your passion for what you like to do. And the don'ts. Dun 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 dun. The don'ts of an elevator speech. Don't ramble. Familiarize yourself as much as possible with your speech. It'll help you keep from getting off task. Kim is watching me from the other room. Don't get bogged down. So make sure you have a great pace. You're not too fast. You're not too slow. You don't need to hurry. You have all the time in the world. So make sure you pause briefly between sentences and make sure to breathe, even if Kim is watching you from the other room. Also, don't get too crazy with all of your words, acronyms. Just make sure you're using words that your listener may comprehend. Nobody needs your fancy-dancy words. You don't want to end up like this guy. Not okay. So make sure you use proper language. And finally, make sure you adapt your speech to your audience. You wouldn't talk the same way to this guy as you would to this guy. That's Brent. Isn't he cute? Alright, so some tips for public speaking. Nobody wants to end up like the girl from Princess Diaries, because that hair, though, looking kind of ratch. So, you need to be confident and calm. If you are nervous, no one in the audience knows if you're nervous unless you show it. So if you just went out there and did your best and had great posture and body language, nobody will know. And just make sure you breathe, because breathing is good. You won't die if you breathe. So make sure you breathe and take proper pauses between sentences and deliver your speech with confidence. Don't go too fast. We're not running a marathon right now, so make sure you're at a great pace. You're not going too slow, but you're not going too fast. That way your message is conveyed by your audience. Also, don't use crazy hand gestures. A lot of theater people, like myself, like to do crazy things with their hands while you're talking, and it's just distracting to the person listening. And there's no need to do the hokey pokey while you deliver your speech. So don't be stiff as a board, but don't go crazy with your arms. Just keep it to emphasizing words at the end of the sentence with an arm gesture or something like that. Also, do not say like a million freaking times. Or freaking, that's a terrible word too. So, turd? I just said turd on camera. So, don't say like a million times. Sometimes when we don't know what to say, I just put my finger over the camera. Sometimes when we don't know what to say, we put filler words in, like or like. And nobody wants to sit through a presentation saying like 50 million times. Just be careful. Keep eye contact. Nobody likes to talk to someone who's not staring at you. And also, don't gauge your focus on one person in the room. If that is something, you'll terrify them. Also, body language is key. Don't be slouching. Nobody wants to talk to Quasimodo. Obviously, that's why there's a movie about it. So make sure you have great, confident body stance. And just don't use excessive prancing back and forth or leaning on things or tapping things, because all of these are distracting and it's taking away from your message. And like I said, you have 90 seconds to sell yourself. So if you don't use those 90 seconds wisely, you will die. And finally, with all these tools and tips, you can end up like our great friend Marlon Smith, who goes across the world and delivers speeches to hundreds and hundreds of students, thousands of students, with great poise and body language. And he maybe started from an elevator speech, and now he's here at flight school. Well, will be in August. So I promise you, with all of those tips and tools, you should be able to see, I'm trying to find a big word. You'll execute your elevator speech. You should be able to talk to anyone with great poise and posture, and you can sell yourself to anyone who may walk into that elevator. So tell us about your elevator speech.